Hello and welcome to the Emotional First Aid Kit designed for mamas. My name is Jo. I'm the founder of Rise and Vibe, a self-love and confidence coach, and also an EFT accredited practitioner. Welcome. Hope you're okay. I'm also a mum to a very lively preschooler, and I have number 2 on the way. As a mum, I know what it's like. We are being pulled in so many different directions. It can feel at times absolutely overwhelming and that we can't catch up on ourselves. In fact, I don't feel like we've recovered fully from the last couple of years and being in a pandemic and catching up on all of that stress that we've been under and all the multitasking on top of multitasking. I designed the Emotional First Aid Kit to help you, to give calming tools that I use for myself. This is a really fast, simple tool that can help reduce stress and anxiety in yourself. And more importantly, it really works on the brain, that kind of fight or fight response. So let's talk about that just for a moment. When you're feeling stressed, where do you feel it? Do you feel it in your chest, in your throat? What do you do when you're stressed? Do you reach for a sugary carbohydrate? Do you maybe have a little extra glass of wine? What do you do? How does that stress impact your behavior? Do you find that maybe you're more snappy with the kids or the husband or your partner? It really kind of impacts your well-being and what you do. How is it impacting your self-esteem and your confidence as a mother and as a woman? All this stress has an impact on our brain. And just to give you a little bit of information on the brain, a bit of a brain geek. When we're stressed, you have the amygdala in the brain. And that is basically we need that to stay alive. It stops us walking into cars on the road. It helps us with danger. If we see our child about to fall, we react before we even think about it, right? The problem is that it was designed when we were back from the caveman days, so we had to fight off a saber-toothed tiger or a lion or a bear, I don't know. And it floods the body with cortisol and it makes your arms and legs feel more jittery. And it means you have to run away from danger. Unfortunately, when you're stressed, you can't naturally run away from your partner and your children, even though sometimes you might want to. So you'll feel this cortisol just bubbling in your body. You might feel more sensitive to light. You might feel extra jumpy. You might not be able to sleep at night, even when your kids are sleeping, because your adrenaline and your cortisol is burning in your body. You might also find that you're gaining weight no matter what you do. Cortisol is the stress response that actually you naturally gain weight around your middle, studies have shown. So that's kind of the stress response that we're in. Also, when you're stressed, you'll find that you've got the emotional and the logic part of your brain. And when you're feeling stressed, the emotional part basically runs the show. So you're living on adrenaline, cortisol, and emotion. And that logic part, that heart part that really helps you think most clearly, is kind of switched off. So we want to switch that back on. That's the rational side to help you think and feel more clearly with more clarity. So there's a lovely technique I'm going to teach you. It's called EFT. It might seem a bit woo to start with, but bear with me. So EFT stands for Emotional Freedom Techniques, also known as tapping. And there's so many amazing studies out right now. You can find them on my website that show that by tapping on your body, on the specific points, actually sends a calming signal to the amygdala. That's the stress response in the brain. So you're able to reduce the neurotransmitters and your body and feel instantly de-stressed and calm in a matter of minutes. It's a fantastic tool. I think they should basically teach this to all mums when they come out of hospital to really help them, because also, I'm not sure if you know, your brain changes when you have a baby, your amygdala grows. So we feel even more stressed and more hyper when we become mothers. So where's it from? It's a blend of Eastern influence, that's acupressure, acupuncture, points, so that lovely Eastern influence with Western psychology. It was designed back in the 80s And it was started originally on trauma, and they've noticed that it works so well on so many things, from stress, anxiety, addiction, food, and traumas. It's a really lovely tool, very easy. So I'm going to show you how to do it first of all. We start with side of hand, just with 2 fingers, and you gently tap here. The next point is just top of eyebrow, just here. Side of eye, just on here, that bony piece. Under your eye is here, and under your nose is here. Here is your chin, just a couple of taps. Your chest, and then just where your bra strap is, just under there, and then top of head. And that's just one sequence that you do. And so, yes, it can feel a bit strange to start with, but please just trust the process and see how you feel. So I'm going to lead you now into a release the day, de-stress, tap along meditation.